Hi, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions.
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
We release 3 videos a day, every day,
So please hit that subscribe button.
so you don't miss out on all this amazing content of ours.
That's right.
So what are we going to listen to right now, Max?
We're going to listen to the Wah-Watusi by the Orlons.
That's a great song. You know, I have listened to this song a lot in the past year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've
be-
listened to it 1,000
yeah,
times.
to be completely honest, I'm not sure if I've listened to it 1,000 times either.
I've listened to it a lot, though.
He discovered in the past year or so
Sure.
for himself. I've heard of it. I heard it a while back. I've heard this in the past, before then.
Sure, but it's become...
But I don't know if nevertheless, I don't know if I've listened to it 1,000 times, but I've listened to it a lot.
All right.
I've listened to it a lot.
But it's become one of our favorites in the past year, that's for sure. Before
right.
we start listening to it, just want to remind you all that we have another YouTube channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies tunes, jazz standards, and originals in that vein. And we have comedy videos on there as well.
That's right. But
So
for
check
right
that out
now, let's take a listen to the Wah-Watusi by the Orlons.
for our 1000th time.
Here we go. Or 1000th time. Here we go.
Wah-Watusi. Come on and take a chance and get with this dance. Wah-Watusi. Oh baby, it's a dance made up for romance. Shuba, shuba, baby, baby, when you do that twist, never, never do you get yourself kissed. 'Cause you always dancing far apart.
Wah-Watusi girl is a really smart.
Wah-Watusi. Come on and take a chance and get with this dance. Shuba, shuba, baby, baby, when you do that fly, your arms are wasted waving in the sky. Come on and hold me like a lover should.
Wah-Watusi makes you feel so good.
Wah-Watusi. Oh baby, it's the dance made up for romance. Baby, baby, that's the way it goes. Nothing happens when you mash potatoes. I just gotta fall in love with you.
Wah-Watusi is the dance to do.
Wah-Watusi. Come on and take a chance and get with this dance. Wah-Watusi. Oh baby, it's the dance made up for romance.
It's one of those songs from the early 60s.
That you just want to get up and dance to.
Sure.
I mean, the Wah-Watusi is a dance.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and they're talking about other dances.
They're
in
all
it,
talking
like
about
the
other
slide
dances.
and the
The
mashed
twist, the
potatoes.
mashed potatoes, the flies. What you just said?
The slide.
Oh, I thought they said the fly. Also,
Maybe.
or maybe they were just talking about the slide.
It's a great
misheard.
song, you know.
It's a great song. What's
like-
also interesting about this group is, well, first I just want to mention when we were kind of miming along to this song, I may have been off on my claps there on the
Me too,
claps
me
because
too.
I kind of was.
You thought it was a double clap then a single clap, but it was all double claps.
Right. Well, what happened was I was clapping a little too hard, and I was kind of obfuscating the sound that I was hearing in my headphones.
Sure, it's
actually.
hard not to dance and clap to this
You
song.
just want to get down with this song, you know. But I will say, what's interesting about this group is
it's all women.
It's all
except
women
one
and
man.
one man, and the man is not the lead. I mean, he's kind of takes the lead at the end of the bridge, but he's not the main lead of this group.
And usually, often, actually, at the time, if there was a woman in a group, it usually was like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. It was all men, but one woman actually in the group.
Right. Well, there's also that song. I know something.
Oh, the Exciters. The Exciters. Tell him. It's called Tell Him.
Right. That's composed of all women and one man.
I believe you're correct about that.
The
too.
Exciters, right? Is the name?
The Exciters, yeah.
But
there's also the Platters, of course. That is all men and one woman, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
believe.
so I guess there's a few of them, but we just don't. We tend not to think that. I
No,
guess
that's all men and one woman, is what I said.
Oh, gotcha.
But the lead singer is a man. Actually,
Gotcha.
Unmistakably.
Well, anyway, there's the whole album on here is actually, if you get a chance to listen to the album, I don't think most people have listened to the whole album that the Wah-Watusi is on, but there's a lot of good songs on that album.
If you're wondering what Max is looking and pointing at, it's his computer.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I tend to do that. But that whole album, it has a lot of good songs on it, and there's this one song that's interesting on it where the male singer in it, he does this. He kind of talks like this,
Right.
which is kind of there was a lot of novelty stuff going on in
Sure,
in the early
I would
60s,
say there's
you know?
there's still some doo-wop influence in this kind of song.
Well, Wah-Watusi sounds like a doo-wop kind of sound. to
Sure,
it.
but obviously this is getting more into those early to mid '60s sort of,
Vibes.
not vibes, but not vibes. I don't use the word vibes, but more like
Why not?
that early to mid '60s sort of, mainly girl group like that. Just the R&B from that time,
Sure, but I was gonna say something, but that I forgot. Actually.
I'm sorry that happened.
You interrupted me, and
Well, I didn't interrupt you. I just
Well, no, you
were
interrupted
waiting
my-
for your turn to talk.
You interrupted my train of thought, is what I'm saying. Well, I was going to say something about the Wah-Watusi. That must be where the Batusi gets its name from Batman.
Right.
The Batman series.
I never just realized that until you just said that.
Oh, really? I'm surprised that when you were getting into the song for this past year, you didn't make that connection.
Wow. That must be where he got the
The Batusi, he kind of does this,
That's, the Adam West Batman.
Yeah,
obviously.
but the Batusi is a little more groovy seeming, kind of a little bit.
God, that show is so funny.
It is really hilarious. Maybe my favorite depiction of Batman.
Probably, yeah.
Although
Aside
I will
from
say
the animated series.
The animated Batman, the animated series from, the early to mid 90s,
also
that
really
is, and a little bit later too, but that is a great depiction
But
of Batman.
man,
But I will say,
the
Adam West Batman is
that-
quite good.
That is a really funny show. And the movie, there are a couple movies, I believe, right?
No, I think there's just one movie.
They're
but
so
it's
fun.
so
Sometimes
funny.
you just don't know how to get rid of a bomb. That whole scene is really funny.
really good. Just a lot of things. There's that scene where Batman and Robin are trapped. They're tied up to a buoy, and this shark that is actually just a missile or something like that is about to hit them. And then they cut to the next scene, and they're like, "Oh, thank God that dolphin jumped in the way right at the last moment." Something like that. It's so ridiculous.
It was a tongue-in-cheek, show / movie.
Oh, really?
Meant to be.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's hilarious.
This song is great. I'm sure after watching this reaction video, you're gonna have this song on repeat like we
It's
had
an
for the
earworm.
past year.
It's
an
definitely
earworm.
infectious, and you're gonna just want to
Get up and dance and do the Wah-Watusi.
Next time you're at a party, you're gonna be asked the DJ, "Hey, you by any chance have any Wah-Watusi on you?" And he'll be like, "Oh man, I was waiting
know
for somebody
it.
to ask me that," and they're gonna play it. and you're
we
gonna
just
be
went
happy.
to a couple weddings in the past couple months, and we should have asked for them to play. The first one was a live band, but the second one, we should have asked them to put this on.
Look, it's not that well known of a song. Especially now, but
It's a fun one to dance to.
It's a fun one to dance to.
I think that's going to do it for this video today. If you like what you heard and saw today, please hit that subscribe button and ding that post notification bell to find out about more Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.